All right, so how many times have you been on a big board like this one, and you're thinking, where am I? I'm working down here, where am I? And I kind of pinch my trackpad or I zoom out until I see the whole thing, and I scroll around, and then I kind of zoom in towards the other thing. Uh, I don't even know what to call that, but I do it all the time. In tldraw, I see other people do it. Yeah, it's just kind of like one of the behaviors that you do in a canvas. Um, a few years ago, I had been playing Assassin's Creed, and you're down there, you're kind of like whatever, assassinating down on the street level, but the game gave you a eagle that you could warg into and reach like way out and see the whole city beneath you, and then you could kind of like return to your character, down on the ground. And I thought that would be really cool. And so we actually give a name to that. We just called it Eagle Vision. Mima on our team implemented it. And that was like maybe 9 months ago or something. I looked at that and I was like, all right, this is good. I think this is a good start, but like there's still more to do. So let's come back to it. Well, this year we finally came back to it. So we're on a zero backlog mission. We're just closing PRs and closing issues, kind of freeing up brain space for this year's roadmap. And I went back to the Eagle Vision. I was like, let's get this thing shipped. So let me tell you about how it works. tldraw has a zoom tool. I'm not sure if you can see this. Zoom in. The zoom tool is you hold Z, and you can kind of just draw boxes, and it'll zoom to fit the box that you just drew. You can also just click, and it'll kind of zoom towards wherever your cursor is. You can also alt zoom, option zoom to zoom out, and you can even, if you feel like going the extra route, you can actually zoom, drag a box, and it'll zoom out from that box in case you really want to do that. So we wanted to use that same tool to implement Eagle Vision. So the shortcut is Z plus Shift. That is the Eagle Vision shortcut. And if you do it, I'll show you. Hold Z, press Shift, and it pops you out to the like 10% zoom. And it allows you to kind of move your cursor around. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little gray box around the cursor. And if you let go of Shift, then you will go to wherever that gray box is. So it is a way to kind of like pop out, move quickly over to somewhere else, then pop back in. If you are kind of zoomed out, you can kind of see the gray box is a little bit bigger. And yeah, it just represents the size of your viewport, right? Now, the thing that I wanted to achieve with this, and one of the reasons why it maybe took a little bit of time to implement or to kind of get shipped, and this is on, is it on tldraw.com? I think it is actually on tldraw.com. Although I'm on a branch, so it's maybe like a newer version of tldraw.com, and I'll kind of risk my own, yeah, there I am, risk my own whiteboard here. Okay, take it back. It's not on tldraw.com yet, but it will be next week. As I zoom out, you kind of see that gray box. Let me try and zoom out a little bit, like here. The thing that I wanted to do is guarantee that the user's cursor would stay stable in its position within the viewport. So if you can think about this, like right now, my cursor is right in the middle of the screen. And if I was to pop out, actually I should be over here. If I was to pop out, then the cursor should be in the middle of this gray box. But if my cursor is over here, right, over there, then when I pop out, it should also be in that same relative position within the box as it was before. Otherwise, when I zoom back in, like it'll be how do I say that? It won't be idempotent. It won't produce the same result every time. And if we were moving the viewport so that it was always around the cursor, then as I was kind of going back and forth, the viewport would actually start to crawl across the screen because the kind of the origin of the viewport would be changing. Because it's like now it's centered on the cursor, and if the cursor is not centered on the page, then yeah, there would be that delta, there would be that drift. But that's kind of hard because well, now I need to position the box like in a way that is it takes that into account, but then allow the user to still move the cursor around. And I don't know if you can see this. This is a detail that I thought you'd find really interesting. As I move the cursor towards the edge of the screen, the cursor's position within that box, let me jump over here, changes, right? Like we're positioning the box relative to the cursor, always to preserve that that normalized position of the cursor within the box. That means that it's kind of like imbalance. It moves a little slower. It moves kind of following its own rules rather than or relative to the cursor. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can see that. Do you see how the cursor, the box is like centered on the cursor? And now the box is kind of like, the cursor is at the very top, and then now the cursor is kind of at the bottom. You see the difference there? Off to the side, this way. We had to do that. It just wasn't working correctly until we kind of figured that out. Anyway, that is Eagle Vision. It's coming very soon, and I think I'm going to use the heck out of this thing. This is really fun. I've never seen this before in any other Canvas app, so slightly unusual for tldraw to kind of like be breaking ground on features or doing something that is new. I mean, the majority kind of story for tldraw is actually like kind of convention and commodity kind of version of the canvas, but in this case, there's something that I think we can bring this to the table. I would love to see this in other applications. I would love to see this in my code, you know, being able to kind of like whoop, pop out and pop back in, kind of like a MakePad might have this feature. But yeah, Eagle Vision coming soon. Thank you. Bye.